Hello, can you all hear me? All right. Can we start now? I welcome you all to this very wonderful session. It is one of the most anticipated, and I promise you it will be very interesting. Without wasting much time, let us go straight to why we are here. First, I apologize for the short time that we've taken. We've taken a few minutes. This meeting was scheduled for 11:30 a.m. Nigerian time, but as you can see, this is already 11:37 a.m. My apologies for that. Anyway, let's go. How to apply and win the Tony Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program $5,000 business grants. That's why we are here today. I will try to be very fast and also ensure that we are concise. What do you intend to know from this training? This training will cover the application phase of the program. You know, Tony Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program is in phases. Just like every other year, 2022 application is also in phases. The application phase that is on now, that's from January 1st to March 31st. Thereafter, we talk about the training. After training, the business plan. After the business plan, we talk about pitching before the seed capital disbursement. Our concentration today is on the application phase and the business plan. That's our concentration. And by the end of this training, you should be able to understand what you need to do in this application phase. We shall talk about the SDGs, because that is a very crucial part of this application. That is the Sustainable Development Goals you choose. Again, we talk about green economy and climate change. I have received several questions asking for clarification on green economy and climate change. Then, we shall also talk about how to write your business plan, writing business plan in Tony Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program. We shall also talk about some businesses that are likely to get funding, because Tony Elumelu Foundation, as far as the foundation is concerned, not all businesses are bankable. The foundation have their vision, the foundation have their mission, the foundation have their goal. Again, I shall share with you some tips that will help you throughout the application process. Then finally, we shall have a question and answer session. Now, but before we proceed, let's talk about the entrepreneurship program and why it was established. The founder, Mr. Tony Elumelu, is the co-founder of the economist philosophy known as Afro-capitalism. And Afro-capitalism is a belief that the Africa's private sector can and must take the lead in developing Africa and solving the continent's problem. That's what the philosophy is all about. Now, if you ask me, this belief is a clear indication that the founder, Mr. Tony Elumelu, lost confidence in the public sector, that's in Africa's government. He lost confidence in the government in their ability to solving the Africans' problems. So he now believes in the talents, skills, capabilities, and manpower of the Africa's private sector. This belief pushed him to empower the private sector to solve the continent's problems and as well develop Africa. Now, why is this very important to start with? If you don't know the reason why something is formed, you may not fit yourself in properly to be a beneficiary of that thing. So what you should know is that the foundation is out to solve Africa's problem. The foundation is not necessarily asked to fund entrepreneurs. They are funding entrepreneurs that will solve Africa's problem. That's the main motive. That is why the entrepreneurship program is formed. It is launched in 2015. So any business or any entrepreneur that is not out to solve Africa's problem is out of the picture. It's very difficult for an entrepreneur that is not solving a clear problem to be selected as a beneficiary. So, for you to be selected, you must ensure the business or the business idea you are applying with is targeted at solving one of the problems in Africa. So the question now is, what are the problems we have in Africa? We shall answer that as we proceed. Now, let us look at the application process first. When we talk about the application process, once we are done with the application process, I will convey some tips that will help you throughout the application. First, the application process in 2022. Just like 2021, the application is in 4 parts. The first part is of personal information. The second part is of commercial information, otherwise known as the business information. The third part is the cognitive test. And the last part is the declaration. Now, let's look at the personal information. By personal information, I mean your data as an individual, where you put your name, your residential address, and other details. Now, note, I'm making this as a comprehensive lecture, so I have to talk about everything for those who are not privileged to be part of my lecture before. Note that the residential address you provide is very important. Very, very important. Very important in the sense that in the later part of the application, possibly before you submit a business plan, you will be asked to submit due diligence. And in due diligence, you will be asked to submit proof of address, which is likely a utility bill or your bank statement. Now, for you to submit a utility bill or bank statement, the address on it must be the same with the address you provide at the point of application. So, I advise people before you apply, check your bank statement or check your utility bill to ensure the address there is the same with the address you're putting on the application. There's one thing that is funny. In June last year, when some persons were asked to submit proof of address and they could not find it, they went back to edit their address. It's editable, but it reflects on the foundation's website. Edited. So, and you know what that means? It's just like when you make a comment on Facebook and you edit it. Facebook notify the author edited. So you should know what that means as well. Once you edit your address, it shows it brings us suspicion, and depending on the person that is reviewing your business plan, he or she is left with the choice of letting you go or not. So while putting your personal information, ensure the address is the same with the address on the application, on their on your utility bill or your bank statements. All right, the business and commercial information. You can call it a business data or the commercial information. This is another most important place in the another most important part of this application. In this part, the first thing you'll be asked to do is after putting your business name, you'll be asked to write a brief description of your business, which is not less than 50 characters. Not 50 words, 50 characters. Now, after submitting a brief description of your business, then you will also be asked to choose at least one and at most 3 sustainable development goals that your business addresses. Let me come in here. First, when you are writing a brief description of your business, do not submit your problem statements. What they need is not a problem statement. They need a description, just as the name implies. A description. You are not to submit your problem statement. What you should do here is you are simply required to define your business, describe what you do and how you do it, mention your product if applicable. That is, if your business is that which you have products that you sell out, you mention the products. Even if you don't mention or just mention the product if applicable. Yeah. Now let me give an example of the business plan I wrote in 2021. I wrote for one of the applicant that is now a beneficiary. She is a fashion designer, and when you are writing a brief description of the business, this is what it means for those in the fashion industry. You can put F, and I'm putting F&D as an example, as a name of the business. F&D is an African-focused textile, fashion design, clothing, and bespoke tailoring company located in, you can put Port Harcourt, Nigeria. I don't expect you to copy exactly what I'm saying, but I'm just telling you as an example so that it will be a guide to you. You put where it is located. If you go further, we leverage on the richness and diverseness of African culture and values to provide unique. But then I don't need to read everything here before some persons will copy it. Yeah. So you are not describing your business, what it is about. You first define it, what you do, how you do it, and if possible, if there's a product, let me show you the model, how I explain the model. We engage in a B2B and B2C business model as we provide tailoring services. You should understand that. So there I have also captured the model. Finally, the final statement here is our products ranges from street alternatives, traditional apparels and gowns, casual and corporate wears, children's clothing, and urban lifestyle dressing. This was how I described the products. So when you are writing the brief description of your business, I don't expect you to start putting in so much figures. The figures are necessary when it comes to problem statements. This is just a description of your business. That is that. The next thing that is required is the SDGs. Let me come in here. What is SDGs is the full meaning is Sustainable Development Goals. We have 17 Sustainable Development Goals and 169 targets. Yes. TEF require you to choose at least one goal, at least one of the Sustainable Development Goals that your business address, a maximum of 3. Now, let me tell you what you should do when choosing the SDGs. You must know that the goal you choose play a major role plays a major role in the selection process. As you may know, the foundation directly funds 100 entrepreneurs, and 1,000 rather, 1,000 entrepreneurs. That's what the foundation funds. Other partners funds the rest. Like in 2021, a total of 4,949 entrepreneurs were funded. Good. The foundation itself funds just 1,000, while other partners that involves UNDP, African Development Banks, and others fund the rest. UNDP has a fund about 1,000 as well. Now, I'm bringing this issue up so that you understand what to do, because each of the partners have their area of focus. Let me give you an example. UNDP, since our partnership, have always funded 1,000, but UNDP does not fund every business. So, if you Google UNDP and their focus, you understand their work is in line with eradicating poverty. They focus on poverty and inequality. They focus on governance. They focus on resilience. They focus on environment, energy, and gender equality. Now, you may know why women seems to be the most favorable when it comes to Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program. Because the foundation, Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program itself, fund 1,000 on a very neutral ground, possibly 50-50, 50 male, 50 female. But other partners, there are other partners that favors women. UNDP is strictly for gender equality. Now, when they are talking about gender equality, in as much as they are considering businesses that enhance gender equality, they are practicing it themselves. When women are not or do not do well in their business plan, UNDP shares slots to them. So as a woman participating in the program, there are other partners that focus on only women. They are asked to fund only women entrepreneurs, like womenpreneurs. That's what they are asked for. Now, I'm not going there. Where I'm going is, when you check the focus of UNDP, you see poverty. So if your work or if your business addresses goal 2, think, or goal 1, no poverty. No poverty. If your work addresses that goal, then it's an added advantage for you. Let me give you another example so that you better understand what I mean. Let's look at another partners that partners with Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program. The International Committee of Red Cross, ICRC. This is a regular partner. They focus on access to education, health, climate change, etc. So now, any business that addresses goal 4, quality education, any business that addresses goal 13, climate change, and any business that addresses health and well-being have the chance of being funded through their scheme, though still under the umbrella body of Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program. But while Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program has selected the best 1,000, these other foundations, based on their area of focus, select based on the numbers they want to fund. I can remember precisely in 2018, Peter Obi, the then governor of Anambra State, funded 10. Only 10. Now, what the government did is, after the foundation has selected their entrepreneurs, which Anambra citizen happens to be amongst too, they now said, okay, those Anambra citizens that participated and were not selected, they should select the best 10 from them again. So people that came from Anambra have an added advantage. You may do well than them. You may do well than they do. But what happened? Because the slots for Anambra citizens are high, they might be selected while you are not. I'm just using that to explain these SDGs. I will give a final example before I make my last comment on these SDGs. Another example I have to give here is the African Development Bank. They are one of the regular partners with Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program. And if you check African Development Bank, if you check their focus is in agriculture, climate change, economic and finance and financial governance, education, and energy. Now, you will see one thing that is common among them. I don't need to mention that. But no, you don't need to ask yourself why agriculture always top the list on Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program. The reason is simple. Most of the partners work on agriculture. And when we are talking about agriculture, agriculture involves goals 1 and 2. Agriculture zeros hunger. Agriculture also eradicate poverty. Agriculture or work to reduce poverty. Agriculture tackles those first 2 goals. Then, based on your field, when you choose a subsector based on your field, it settles other goals or works on or addresses other goals too. But for African Development Bank, they work on this, they fund businesses that falls within this category. Now, how is this relevant to the choice of your SDGs? When you are choosing your SDGs, for example, Sanka Empire, if I want to partner with the foundation today, I may say I'm working on goal 7, clean and affordable energy. So, because I have interest in goal 7, I may say, okay, I want to fund 100, or let me say 1,000 entrepreneurs that are working on goal 7. So when you are applying and you choose goal 7, it literally means during selection, you will be categorized. After the foundation have selected the best 1,000, they will not channel you to other partners. If I am a partner and I'm Sanka Empire and one of the SDGs I'm working is on goal 7 and you choose goal 7, they will not send you to me. You send the applications to me for review. If I consider you worthy, I select you, I send the names to the foundation enlists you, and at the end of the day, during funding, I release my quota of the money, other partners release their quota of the money, then the foundation will now fund you under the umbrella foundation, that's the Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program. That's how the programs operates. That's how the foundation operates. So when you are choosing the SDGs, you must ensure you choose an SDGs that are relevant or that are common. One, SDGs that are common to the mission of the partners of the foundation, so that you do not limit your chance to only the 1,000 that will be funded by the foundation. Again, you must choose the SDGs that are most appropriate to your business, so that when they will send it out for review, when they read their business plan and the SDG you choose, it will not be different. Once it is different, they drop it. So you ensure the SDG you choose is most appropriate to your business. That's that. Now, another thing I want to talk about in this application process is the issue of green economy and climate change. I will make this very simple. Very simple. The first thing is, what is green economy? What is green economy? What is climate change? In a simple terms, what you're actually talking about is businesses that mitigate climate change. And by mitigating climate change is businesses that reduce the emission of carbon and greenhouse gases. Businesses that reduces the emission of greenhouse gases into the environment. That's what they're talking about. So those are business Does a business reduce the emission of greenhouse gases? The first thing is, if your business enhance that, then you failed from the beginning, from the points of application. If your business is based on, there was someone that tried to apply with I think printing. There are some partners that will not want to hear about that. I don't want to believe that you are hearing about climate change for the first time, because climate change is a global problem. Aside COVID-19 that engulfed the world and have changed the world forever, one of the most challenging problems we are facing in the world today is climate change. And when you are talking about the world, climate change is affecting Africa too, affecting Africa seriously. So I don't want to believe you're hearing it for the first time. I believe you must have heard of it. So, but what the foundation wants to know is, does a business work to reduce the emission of greenhouse gases? If yes, you have a chance. If yes, they ask you a simple yes or no questions for those that have gone through the application process. They ask you a simple yes or no question. If you choose yes, then you explain the relationship between your business and um, climate change. So, if your business actually work towards reducing the emission of greenhouse gases, then your chances of being selected is very high. Very high. At the later part of the lecture, I think I have to share some examples of businesses to that work towards the reduction of um, greenhouse gases. But for now, let me just use a business plan I wrote for Briner. Briner was my student in 2015. He's from Ghana. His business is Ecovon. Ecovon is about is a business. Then it was an idea. It was an idea, but now it's in operation. It's a business that converts coconut hulks to into panel wood rather. Yeah, that you use it in construction of board, you use it in the construction of so many things. They convert coconut hulks. Now, the advantage, I call it selling points, because when you're coming in, well, when you're writing business plan, they require you to write a column known as comparative advantage. Other accelerator programs call it competitive advantage, but Elumelu Foundation always refer it to as comparative advantage. That's the advantage you have with other competitors in the market. The advantage Ecovon had, was the conservation of the forest. In Ghana, in West Africa generally, or in Africa generally, deforestation is rising at its peak. So any business that works towards reducing the rate of deforestation in any of the African countries have a high chance of getting funded. Very high chance. This year too, I work on a business with someone from Lagos, where the idea is producing a very flexible drawing board. From what? From waste. I don't want to share details about it because the business is not fully in operation now. You just got funding last month, that's in December. You received the seed capital in December, and we are still working on bringing that idea into light. So I don't want to share details about it before the idea is hijacked. Yeah. So what? Businesses like this heavily give you a very high chance of being selected. Now, I just choose these two as examples. That your business can be related um, to climate change. Yes, that's a business. That's a business. There's a way we relate such businesses to climate change, especially people into fish farming, people into agriculture generally. People into agriculture generally, if you know what you're doing, you relate to Clementine, during the question and answer sessions, I think I will look at the questions available there and see how we can tackle those questions. We are still on the application process. We've talked about the personal information. We've talked about the business, or we call it the commercial information. These are things you need to put in place during the application. Then after that, we talk about the cognitive test. In the cognitive test, we have personality test there. That's a personality test. Just strongly agree and strongly disagree. Avoid the use of avoid neutrality. As an entrepreneur, you have to be very decisive. It is expected of you to be highly decisive. So during the test, avoid neutrality. Another very tempting question you must avoid there is when I think everybody is asked this question. Somebody used invested a sum of money into a business and got maybe 100% profit within 2 months. Then now you just secured your grant, and the person is not telling you to join him into their business so that you can get 100% of your money within the same within 2 months. That's a very tempting question. They will now ask you, what will you do with them? What will you do? Will you invest the seed capital into that business, or you will maintain the business you applied with? That question alone, if you feel it, you are disqualified, because they want to see what you will do with the seed capital. Eventually you becomes the winner, whether you will change the idea or you will maintain the idea you're applying with. So you know what the answer is. Check it, just even check. If you check the comment section, I think somebody just gave the answer there. I love that. I love that. You maintain the business. That's what you do. Anything short of that, you fail. So while you're taking the cognitive test, you must be very careful and relaxed. You stay in a very calm environment and ensure you know what you are doing. You know what you are doing. I repeat, avoid the choice of neutrality. It's either you agree or you strongly agree, or you disagree or strongly disagree. Avoid the use of that neutrality. Being neutral, I don't know what to say. It's not a character of an entrepreneur. It's not a trait of an entrepreneur. Away from that, let's look at the last part, is declaration. That I don't need to share any light on that. I don't need to share any light on that. Let's quickly look at some businesses that is likely to be funded before we look at writing business plan. That's another main thing we have to look at here. Before I share with you some tips that will help you throughout the application process. First, I will encourage you to subscribe to this channel, because from time to time I will be hosting this session. I may not send information to you on the WhatsApp group anymore, but from time to time I will be hosting this session, and in fact throughout the application process, even during the training session, after the training session too, during the business plan, and even down to the pitching stage of this program. Now, before we move out of the application process that we were on, I will encourage you to note, I would like you to note that the application is an automated process. It does not matter when you apply. People that applied on the 1st of January and did not meet up the standard field, they were not qualified. People that we apply on the 31st of March 2022 and meet up the standard will still be accepted into the program. It is a standard. If you meet up, you are qualified. If you don't meet up, you are not. So this application process, do not rush it. Do not rush it. I know I am in several groups, and some people are treated. When someone said, I have applied, I've been selected, some people wish they are applied immediately. Take time, go into research, It's not just a matter of being selected into the program. When you're in the program, what next? Go into research, search for the sustainable development goals that is best appropriate to their business. While you're doing so, do not check only the goals, check the targets. Check the targets of those goals. That's what you do. Now, um, businesses that is likely to be funded and businesses that is likely not to be funded. The truth is some businesses are not bankable. Some business people apply with are not just bankable. Yeah. Let me just give you 3 examples of businesses that are not bankable, or 3 analysis of a business that TEF will not fund. TEF is out to solve African problems. So any business that deals with the importation of goods from outside Africa is likely not to be funded, except essential goods. Yeah, I'm putting an exception there. I have been into this program since 2017, where I applied, and in 2018 I became a mentor, 2019 and 2021. And within this process, I know some businesses that have been funded. I know some entrepreneurs that wrote strong business ideas, yet they were not funded. The reason is simple: the nature of their business. Once a business encourages the importation from outside Africa, your business is likely not to be funded. Likely not to be funded. But if your business encourages exportation, wow, congratulations. However, if your business cuts across African countries, that is a trade between 2 countries. Sorry, that's a very good thing for you. A very good thing for you. That is that. Then, just like I said, if your business encourages the emission of greenhouse gases, then it will not be funded as well. If your business encourage the use of greenhouse gases, the emission of greenhouse gases, it will not be funded. It is better it does not work for the reduction. If your business does not mitigate greenhouse gases, that is climate change, no problem. But it should not encourage the emission of greenhouse gases. Now, away from that, any business that is similar to a previous funded business will not be funded. Some persons meet a beneficiary that is maybe they meet an alumnus, try to imitate, try to copy verbatim their business idea and replicate it. You are wasting time. To Elumelu Foundation have a database of all their beneficiaries, and in as much as they have the database, they also make a background check on all the businesses that you are applying with. Yeah, you might be admitted to the program, but during review, that is where problems comes in. They make a background check to see if this business has been funded or not, because it is very easy. People are trying to be smart. They think you can just get an idea that has already been funded. This one has already been funded and it meets up all the key indicators of the Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program, and you think you can just apply with the same idea so that you will be selected too. You're making a mistake, a very big mistake at that. You're making a mistake. So what you should do is ensure you bring out a unique model. I cannot say you bring out a unique business, because just like poultry farming has been funded almost the 8 times that the foundation have existed. Since 2015, poultry farming has been funded, but it will still be funded in 2022. It depends on the model, the approach, and the services you render. Yeah, services as well, because poultry farming is not just based on the products. There are some services. When you write the business plan, or if you're a business plan expert, you should know what I'm talking about. When I write business plan for poultry farmers, I don't just limit it. We are going into business plan writing. So these are examples of businesses that we know they funded. Now let's look at writing business plan for Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program. One thing you should understand before I proceed, let me make this clear. The foundation is not an achievement test. Achievement test is just like when you are back then in college, when you are in school, they tell you from, like in Nigerian universities, from 70 up, 70 against 100, you got an A. From 60 up, you got a B. Now, from 70 up, you got an A. So no matter the number of people that get 70, if everybody gets 70, they give them A. Everybody gets A in the course. That's an achievement test. They will say you must get at least, let's say 50 for you to pass. Once you get 50, anybody that gets 50 pass. That's an achievement test. But that's different from Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program. Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program is a ranking-based test. A ranking-based test. Ranking-based in the sense that they have already predetermined the number of people or the number of entrepreneurs they will select. Okay, the foundation knows they are selecting 1,000, they are funding 1,000 this year. All their partners knows, okay, I'll be funding 1,000, others will be funding 200, others will be funding 500, others might even be fund 2. Yes, some partners fund only two entrepreneurs. So when they are funding like that, they now say, okay, our partners are funding, maybe let's say the partners are funding 3,409 and 3,949. Just as the case of last year, the foundation is funding 1,000, which makes a total of 4,949 entrepreneurs. What they are doing is they now share these slots into regions. They ensure the 54 African countries are beneficiaries. So if you are coming from countries like Mali, and assuming they share a slot of 20 to you, be sure if only 20 persons apply, be sure of the 20 people to get it, irrespective of the nature of business plan they wrote. Provided it's something readable, provided it's something good, provided it's something presentable, provided it captures a value, be sure those 20 persons will get it. So if you are in Nigeria, and in Nigeria about 100,000 persons applied, and they are choosing just 2,000 from Nigeria, or let me say just as the case of last year, they are choosing 1,500 from Nigeria. Even if 10,000 persons wrote the strongest business plan in the program, they will slim it down. They will choose from the top the first 1,000 and the second 500. So it's a ranking-based test in the sense that there is no definite grade for you to pass. What they need is the best number. If they are choosing 100 from your country, they are choosing the best 100. Now, when it gets to your country, if they are choosing per region, they are choosing based on that region. Like in Nigeria, if they want to cut across the 6 geopolitical zones, they choose from south, southeast. They now share it. Okay, we need maybe 10 persons to come from this, 10 entrepreneurs from this angle, 10 entrepreneurs from this angle, 10 entrepreneurs from this angle, or as the case may be. So, what you are doing is you are striving to be the best in your region. Now, away from region, another factor you must consider is gender. If they want to choose 100 women from your region and choose 50 men from your region, even if you wrote the best business plan and the rest 100 women are below you in standard, they will choose them. So what you are doing, you are competing to be among the best 50 men. If you are a man, you are competing up to be among the best 50 men from your region. Away from gender, another factors that affect your chances is the business sector. which the sustainable development goals you choose from the point of application matters. Now, if they want to choose, let's say, 500 entrepreneurs working on energy, this is um, based on the partners that is in for the current year, because some partners renew their engagement with the foundation. Some partners that can just partner with them just for a year, one-time partnership. Some are regular partnership. So the examples I gave to you before, they are regular partners. That's why I chose them. So now, if you are working on or if your business is in a particular sector, call it energy, and they have decided to choose 500, they are choosing the best 500 applications in that sector. The best 500. They will not share the 500 into region, and they choose the best from different regions. So it does not really matter. It does not really matter the strengths of your business plan, your location, that's your region, your gender, and the business sector matters. So now, where the strength comes in is you strive to ensure the business plan you are submitting, you strive to ensure your quiz, that is your score from the quiz, are the best, coming from your region, coming from your gender, and coming from your business sector. This, when you understand this, you will learn to keep what you are doing secret from your colleagues. When you understand this, you will learn how to stop copying ideas from groups. When you understand this, you will learn how to do your thing yourself, or you seek for professional services to help you. Yes. Now, but one thing is sure, you can do it. I'm not here to scare you. After all, other persons coming from your group have one head. Yeah, just one head. One head. Just as you have too. So, how do you write a business plan? I will just give you general tips on this for now. When we get to that stage, I will also I will arrange for a training session just as this, and ensure I give you detail on how to write a business plan. First thing you should understand is the document that was sent last year is not a business plan document. It's even Tony Elumelu Foundation named it business summary documents. Business summary documents. What do I mean by business summary documents? It's have the business plan there and the financial statements. It was integrated together. Unlike previous years where you have the business plan, you submit the business plan, you submit the financial statement separately. Last year it was integrated together. The business plan was there and the financial statement was there. That's why they call it business summary documents. Now your profitability is a major component of your financial statements. Some persons wrote their profitability just like a normal business. No, you will also asked to calculate the profit margin, which I'm sure, or I'm suspecting they will replicate that model this year. Yes, I'm suspecting they replicate that same pattern of business summary document this year. So if I read hundreds of business plans last year, and I understand that some business plan is not even qualified to be called business, talk less of adding the plan, because the plan was not there. Yeah. So what you should do while writing the business summary, while you are filling your business summary document, first understand that that document is not just a business plan. It also involves the financials. So if you cannot do it, if you are not good at that aspect, look for your colleagues. I don't mean participants of the Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program. Either you look for or seek for professional services, you look at for business consulting firm. You will not just get the business summary document, you also get other things from them. Yes. So you look for professional service, you seek for professional service to help you, or you go into research. You go into research, you study, you will get to understand it better. Now, another mistake other people may while filling that business summary document is some of the participants, some of the entrepreneurs, the pricing that document, I think it was a maximum of 20 words. Some people wrote over 50 words. Now, when they want to review your business, once it goes to their system, it will indicate based on the word limit. The box will be red to indicate that it is over. The words there are too much. Once, if I'm reviewing your business, if I see that, once I see that that is blatant disobedience to instruction, you fade from there. You must stick to the word limits. Again, you must ensure you answer all the problems. In the Sanka Empire and Sanka Prime group I created to train, on WhatsApp group that I created to train the entrepreneurs that will be participating in this year's edition of the program. Some persons have sent me their business, their problem statement for review. And reviewing those problem statements makes me to wonder if they really read the summary document before filling them. Because the very first question there, how do you get this idea? That's the very first question. How do you get this business idea? When you are writing the problem statement, they ask you 3 questions. How do you get this idea? Describe the problems, and also how do you solve these problems? How do you get that idea is a very important question you must address first, because how you get the idea gives the reviewer an insight into your drive. So how do you tackle this very part of the business plan? While you're writing the idea, how you get the idea, you can take a story type, a story type of writing. When you describe how you get the idea, it could be out of what you are into. While writing the problem statement, it's always better when you put yourself in that problem. It's always better when you put yourself in that problem, maybe someone that has been affected by the problem. Yes, it gives you edge. Away from that, while you are describing your problems, I'm coming to that, but I'm giving you clues so that when you are writing your business, you know the business you are choosing for this application. When you are describing your problems, ensure, I repeat, ensure you quantify these problems. When they say you should quantify these problems, it's not just to describe the problems. When you're quantifying a problem, you're quantifying it into loss of resources, maybe money or time, or you're quantifying it into a loss of values. That is where African cultural values comes in. Our social values comes in. I have said it severally in other in my videos. If you check this channel, you check my videos there, you will see I have made this statement repeatedly that the foundation is not interested in political values, because the founder have lost confidence in the public sector, just as I said initially. What the foundation is interested in is cultural values. I have given an instance of one of the businesses we did. Okay, I don't need to mention them anymore. One of the businesses I wrote for a beneficiary that is into fashion designing, where we explained that African textile is at the verge of extinction in the industry. So we were like reinventing this textile in a more friendly and affordable way. Once you read that, if you are the one reviewing it, you give it thumbs up. give it thumbs up. Then for the question you just dropped, I would like to take that few minutes from now when we move into the question and answer session. That is when I would like to take the question you just asked. Permit me, I will not take the question now, but I would like to take that question later. I will take the question later. So now, let us look at before we conclude, before we round up, let us look at some tips that will help you while you apply for the foundation. Then after that, I will take your questions and also maybe subsequent questions that will be in the comment section. I will try as much as possible to ensure I attend to them within 48 hours from the time it was asked. Now, let's look at some tips that will help you during the application process. When you are in for your application, especially after this stage, this application phase, especially after this phase, once you are in, please seek for the service of a mentor. Or if you are grouped just like they did last year into maybe a telegram group, and you are assigned mentors. I was the head mentor in the innovator category, and a head coach rather, and you are assigned coaches. Ensure you befriend your coach. Befriending your coach in the sense that you ensure you contact your coach daily, if possible, or ensure you contact your coach before submitting anything. Before submitting any document, ensure you contact your coach. I understand some of the coaches are inexperienced because just like some of the beneficiaries this year, they are now selected as alumni, and most of them will be selected as mentors, as coach. Let me say that. Now, some of them were helped by their coach during their time and being selected as a coach. Most of them might not have the experience to advise you through, but there are other experienced ones. Like in our group. We were about 15 coaches, if not mistaken, but only about 4 head sessions. So these 4 that head sessions, you should have come close to your mentor before you submit your business plan. Ensure the mentor review it. I reviewed several business plans last year, and most of them were not does not worth an investment of $500. That's less of 5,000. So when we see business plans like that, or business summary document like that, we ensure we advise you properly. That's what I do. I ensure I advise you properly. So seek for the service of a coach throughout your application process, especially after April 16th, when you've been grouped into the training session. That's what you should do. Now, away from that, always keep what you are doing to yourself. Ensure what you are doing is unique. You are in groups. Help yourselves. Help yourself with informations. Help yourself with clarifications, but do not copy. When you copy, you sabotage your chance of being selected. Do not copy. Avoid copying. Then finally, I will also advise you to be real. When you are real, you don't like what to do. Be real in business. Be real. Do not just sit down and write names as a team, especially when it comes to business submission of your business summary documents. Your team is very important. So do not just sit down and write names and call them your team members. When you are writing names of your team members, there are other factors you need to put into consideration. I have said that repeatedly in my basic class. I taught that in my basic class, and maybe for the sake of this video, let me just glance through it. when you are writing your team, you should first of all understand that your team plays a crucial role in this process. Yes, a very crucial role. Now, when you've come up with a good business model, a good business idea and model, and maybe you've impressed an investor with a business plan, the question is, this person, is he or she capable of doing all these things? Does he have the relevant knowledge, experience, or qualifications? These are the questions that need an answer. They will not ask you, the investor will ask himself. So the first thing you should do is, while writing your team, the first thing you should consider is number. The number of your team members. How many are they? They should be an odd number. That is, it should be 3, 5, or 7. Why should it be an odd number? Why should it be an odd number? Because the reviewer will see how they will ask themselves, how do these guys make decision? When you want to make decision, it is believed you discuss with your team members, your team. So while discussing with your team, there might be sharp division. That is when different opinions come on board. There might be sharp division, and it is expected majority carries. So if you have 4, an even number, then 2 may go on one side, 2 may go on one side. How do you decide then? But if you have 5, definitely there will be majority on one side. If you have 7, there will still be majority on one side. I advise people, you keep your team within the range of 5 and 7. 5 and 7 members. Then, members of your team should also be people of good reputation. People of good reputation, yeah. They should have very good reputation because they do a background check. In my basic class, I shared the document that the beneficiary signed before the disbursement of the seed capital. That's the personal undertaking. I shared it in my basic class. I shared it with the participant of my basic class, and they read it. Number 6 of it was, before you make any change of your team, you write to the foundation at least 2 weeks. They will review it and interrogate you. Why are you changing this person? You know why? Because they have done background check on the person and the person satisfies all conditions. So why are you changing this person? Who are you bringing on board? They will have to do a review of the person you're bringing on board again. So the team members, the reputation of the team members is very necessary, because if the person have a bad reputation, it will sabotage your chance. Once they do a background check, if you have any dents on his reputation, then you will not be selected. Another thing you should consider is gender. There is a way we tackle these gender issues. I have told most of the partners of the foundation work, their concentration is on gender equality, especially UNDP. Now, what you do, if I'm applying, or let me just say what I did. I built it. I developed a team of 5, and on the team, 3 are women. I'm the team leader, but 3 are women, and the 3 that are women, they took on key roles. The finance officer was a woman. I don't need to tell you the rules on my team. I don't need to tell you all the rules on my team. But 3 key roles were assigned to women. Why I and Lovely Precious Tambari was the only 2 men on the team. So in this case, organizations or partners that works on that supports women will be tempted to fund my business too, even if the Elumelu Foundation herself does not directly fund my business. So you must ensure you balance the gender. Even women, while you are writing your team, ensure the gender is balanced. Avoid using maybe your wife, your husband, and your children. That is, avoid the repetition of surnames on your team. It's not a family business. They don't ask you to go and write family names. They ask you to go and write the names of your business partners. Sorry, not partners per se, but their team members working with you on your business. Because there's difference between business partners and your team. And there's also difference between your team and your employees. So, finally, they should have relevant qualifications and expertise. They should have relevant qualifications and expertise. This will help you. If you're into poultry farm, I said it before. One lawyer built a team of 3, and three of them are lawyers. How will 3 lawyers lead a business in the agricultural sector? That's wrong. Now, when you are writing your team, this is the last thing I will say before I entertain questions. When you are writing your team, ensure you write their name. I have reviewed several businesses where they said, I have a team of 5 persons that are committed to developing this business. They don't want to hear you say it, they want you to show it. Write their name. The first name should be your name. You put your name. In my case, I can say Monde Moikara. You put the role, the co-founder and CEO of Sanka Empire. You put the qualification, or you put the experience. The qualifications could be the academic qualification. The experience could be the work experience. You don't just say you have 2 years working experience. No. Put it. Where did he work? If he has worked before, what did he do? That's how you put the role. Put the names. They want to see the names. It is the names that help them to review or to make background check on the personalities on your team. That's it. Finally, I will entertain your questions in the comment section. This is 7 minutes past 1 p.m. West African time. I will so this is exactly 1 hour because we started 7 minutes late. We started 11:37 p.m. and this is I think exactly 1 hour or thereabouts. 1 hour 7 minutes since the start of this session. So I would like to entertain your questions now, if any. Then before I make my final comments, I will call it a day. Any question? You make use of the comment section, the comment box. I'm waiting for your questions, if any. Okay, seems there is no question. Let me take the question of Somtu. I think what she said here is what if you score 100? Will it be okay? Okay, Isaac, how do one get better score in the quiz? I cannot share the secret here, but I will advise you contact Sonia. If you can contact Sonia Aber, that's the comment immediately below yours. I will she can add you to our group. I will share hints on that in the group. This video is on record, and I did not have the liberty of sharing that here. The only thing I can say here is for you to work hard. Yes, work hard. Read the document that is sent to you. But To properly answer your question, if you can contact her, then maybe she add you to her group. I will share that thing in our group. I will also share that in my basic class. When we get to that stage, I will just drop that in my basic class in the groups. So if you are in my basic class, that's Sanka Prime or Sanka Empire, I will share a hint on how you can get a good grade from the quiz if you need it. Then some to ask if it will be okay, for you to it will be okay if someone have a 100. I don't know what you mean by 100, because in each of the quiz it is always over 100. I don't know if you are referring to the submission of the 4 quiz as of the case of last year, or you are referring to 100 each. Now this is what happened. They grade your business plan, they grade your quiz score, the score from the quiz. Now from these two, they sum them together and rate it in percentage. Someone with the highest percentage are selected. So if they need maybe 10 persons from your sector, from your region as well. Now, if your quiz score, when calculated, just like the community grade point aggregate in your college, what you should do is you just ensure you what will happen then is when they join the score from your quiz and the business plan and they need 10 persons, they will now select the best 10. So if the first person is 80%, the next person is 77, and if they can select the best 10 and it reaches someone that scored 50%, they will still select the person. But if you score 50% and the best 10 is within, or if you score 80% and the best 10 is within 99, 98, 95, as the case may be, before they get to your 80, they've selected the 10, then you will not be selected. It's just as simple as that. Another person asks if they can get the idea from what is wrong in the society. What is entrepreneurship? I will ask you. If you ask me that question, then I will ask you, what is entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship is you identifying a problem, profiling solution, and making an enterprise out of it. You identify a problem, you profile solution, manage the resources you use in solving that problem, and you make an enterprise. Or let me say you monetize your solution. That is entrepreneurship. So what is wrong in the society is what you think about. Once you think about what is wrong in the society, and you can actually capture it, it's simple. What else? How will you make money from this? Because when you're saying what is wrong, there is the people living in that society ready to pay money to get that thing solved. You say, okay, there's a problem. It's the people, the residents of that community, the residents of that city, the residents of that society willing to pay money just to get that problem solved? If yes, then you have an enterprise. You just solve the problem and collect money in exchange. That's what to do. Let me see if there is still any question here before I. Okay, I think there is no other question here. Because of that, I think we will call it a day. But before I end the session, I will suggest those who are willing to be part of my masterclass, you can contact me through the phone number in the description of this video. That's my WhatsApp contact digits. Just send a message on WhatsApp indicating that you are interested in being a member of my masterclass. If you're a member of my masterclass, there is I think I don't need to say 100. There is, what I should say, 98 to 99% chances of you being selected for funding. I'm not just saying it, but I'm saying it because it has been working. It has been working. I'm not just starting it now. It has been working. So okay, the next question here is, you said something on application fees about address. I'm about to move out permanently from where I am now to a new location. How do I solve this problem while filling the form? This is a major challenge. Thank you, Abel, for bringing this up. I met some participants that they are serving club members, and during that process they open a bank account, and on the bank account the address there is the the location where they served, which mostly is a different state. So in this case, when you fill in your address and you have to submit your your bank statement, and submit that bank statement, the address on the bank is completely different from the address most of them filled at the point of application. Another thing is, some persons that it has currently serving, and they fill in the address of their temporal location. They fill in the address of the temporal location at the point of application. Now, when it is time for due diligence and it is time for them to submit proof of address, guess what happened? They did not have anything to back it up, because most of them, when they were serving, they did not do anything there, so they did not have utility, they did not have anything to back it up. That's a problem. So what should be the solution? What should be the way out? The only way you can solve this problem is to, first of all, check your bank statements. Visit your bank, request for statement of account, or you request for an electronic statement of account from your bank. Check the address on it. You apply with that address. Simple. Or if you are sure where you are moving to, you will have utility bill. You use your new address. Use your new address, but ensure the address you are using have a document to back it up. And the document should either be a bank statement or a utility bill. I think that question is answered. Thank you and have a nice time. If you have any further questions, you can drop the comments in the comments section, or you can contact the WhatsApp contact digits that is in the description of this video. Thank you and have a blessed day.